Hey guys, Smart Sports here. So there's only one more week in the NFL season, Week 18. So here are my Week 18 predictions. So the first game today at 4:30 p.m. the Chiefs versus the Raiders. The Chiefs are 13-3 on the season, coming off a win against the Broncos versus the Raiders, who are 6-10 on the season after a close loss to the San Francisco 49ers, where we did play pretty well in this game, so they are playing themselves for the playoffs, but I know they really do want to beat the Chiefs. They've been playing them well recently, but more often than not, they do not get the win. I do think the Chiefs will not play as well as people are expecting. I think they will win. I think it will be fairly close, though. Chiefs win. Next game, the Saturday night game, the 7-9 Titans playing the 8-8 Jaguars. The Titans are coming off a Thursday Night Football loss to the Cowboys, where they just start Josh Dobbs, so what to expect? They have injuries, even if they are fully healthy. I've only looked into injury report a ton. But even if they are fully healthy, I do not see if it be the Jaguars, who blew out the Texans, started 2-6 on the year, and now are up to 8-8. I think the Jaguars will win this game to win the division. I'll say probably about 24-13. The first of the Sunday games is the Ravens versus the Bengals. The Ravens coming off a Sunday loss to the Steelers, facing the Bengals, who were involved in the Monday night game, where Damar Hamlin got cardiac arrest, and the game was canceled. The Bengals have clinched the division, I believe, because of the Damar Hamlin thing. I just saw that. Haven't looked at that done, but there isn't really much to play for here, and I don't really think this game would be close. Lamar Jackson has been out for a while, and really his absence has really negatively impacted the Ravens severely. Tyler Huntley and the offense, this has not been good. They pretty much need Lamar Jackson to score points. So I don't think this game will be close. Bengals 28-10. Next game, the 6-10 Panthers versus the 7-9 Saints. Two teams eliminated from playoff contention. The Panthers coming off a loss to the Buccaneers, and the Saints coming off a win against the Jalen Hurts with Eagles. So I think this game will be pretty close. Andy Dalton and Sam Darnold are both mediocre quarterbacks. Have done pretty well in not turning ball over a ton. Andy Dalton has some games where he's really dominant, like Rams game, for example. And then the very next week, he can do very badly. And, like, for example, in this situation, the week after the Rams week, we're not even going to shut out by them. The Panthers of Sam Darnold have been playing pretty well. Sam Darnold has led them to wins for most of their games, not quite all of the games that he started. It's in New Orleans, and I just like the Saints better. Andy Dalton is just a better quarterback, so the Saints will win this game 24-21. Next, we have Patriots-Bills. Patriots coming off a win against the Dolphins to be up to 8-8. And the Bills were in the Monday night game where Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest. So they are at 12-4. 7-3. Sorry, they're at 12-3. Patriots are 8-8. Don't really think this game will be close. Just like last time these teams played, Bills are a significantly better football team. Prediction, 35-17 Bills. Next, we have 8-8 division champion Buccaneers versus the 6-10 Atlanta Falcons. Buccaneers coming off a win against the Carolina Panthers, where Mike Evans had over 200 yards and 3 long touchdowns. We kept putting him in single coverage even though J.C. Horn was out, and the same result happened 3 different plays. However, Falcons, coming off a close win against the David Blau-led Cardinals, Falcons just don't really have a quarterback. That's the main problem. Desmond Ridder is not good at throwing touchdown passes. As a quarterback, you need to throw touchdown passes to win in the National Football League. But the Falcons will probably get a decently high draft pick, probably in the top 15, I would say. But I think the Buccaneers will win this game. Buccaneers aren't a good football team, but Falcons are a worse football team. I'll say 21-17 Buccaneers. Next is the Browns versus the Steelers. The Browns coming off a win against the Commanders, where the Commanders decided it would be a bright idea to start Carson Wentz, players were on the line. If you remember last year, players were also on the line. All they need to do is beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, who went on to get the number 1 pick, and they got absolutely destroyed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, that happened, and the Browns are up to 7-9. And the Steelers coming off a win against the Ravens. They are not a good football team, not a fun football team to watch, but some of them are 8-8. And if they win, Mike Tomlin can keep his winning record streak. And if the Patriots lose to the Bills and the Dolphins lose to the Jets, then they can be in the playoffs. In Heinz Field, I think the Steelers will win this game. I think it will be a close game, a very ugly game. Prediction 17-14 Steelers. So really don't want that game. Will not be a fun game to watch at all. Next at 1 p.m. is the Texans and the Colts. The Texans have not had a very good season, got blown by the Jaguars last week, and the Colts also have not had a good season, not as bad as the Texans, but still not good. They are coming off a blowout to the Giants that put the Giants in the playoffs. So, if the Texans, to get the number 1 pick, either need a loss or a Bears win. Because if they win the Bears, they actually do get the number 1 pick. Don't think the Bears will win for the Vikings, so the Texans will likely get the number 1 overall pick, but I do see them winning this game. So, the Colts have not been very good recently. Ever since the 33-0 game against the Vikings, the Colts have not been good. I think the Texans will win this game. Aside from the Jaguars game, they've been playing well 3 of the last 4 games. Only won 1 of them. 2 of them were against very good football teams. So I would say Texas will win in a really low scoring game, 13-10. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The Vikings, coming off a loss to the Packers, it wasn't even close. They scored 2 touchdowns at the end of the game to make it a little bit more respectable, but still 41-17. Vikings were 12-4 with a negative point differential. The playoffs will either win a close, hard-fought game and get absolutely destroyed by a team that they should have beat. And the Bears, coming off a loss to the Bills, I think Justin Fields might actually be a bit overhyped. You cannot be a successful quarterback of the National Football League if you go 7 for 21 passing. It's as simple as that. I'm like a blown out by Lions. I see the Vikings winning this game. You know Vikings, they never win by a lot, so I'll say 28-20 Vikings. Next, we have the Jets and the Dolphins. The Jets coming off a bad loss to the Seahawks, so they got eliminated from playoff contention. But really just a quarterback away from contending. And the Dolphins coming off a 5th day loss. They were 8-3. Now they're all the way down to 8-8. They did not have Tua, but it was still a very winnable game against the Patriots. If the Dolphins win, they are in. And I believe the Dolphins will do this. I believe starting Tua would not be the right thing. I can see the Dolphins starting Tua, but they really should not start Tua. But I don't see that mattering. If the Jets don't have a quarterback that can really function, probably should start Joe Flacco. He has been the best quarterback. So I see the Dolphins winning this game 24-10. Next, the first 4 o'clock game is the 5-11 Rams playing the 8-8 Seahawks. The Rams coming off a loss to the Chargers, where they just underperformed. Cam Akers did play a fairly decent football game, but that was the only thing that went well for them all. The defense has just been bad. They led a lot of yards to Austin Eckler. And the Seahawks coming off a 33-6 win against the Jets. That game was pretty much over before it started. They scored a few minutes of the game and never lost their lead. And they need a win and some help to be in. I think they will win this game pretty easily. I'll say like 31-17. Next, we have the Chargers, who are 10-6, coming off a win against the Rams, and the Broncos, who are 4-12, coming off a close loss against the Chiefs. The Chargers probably will not have a starter just for seeding-wise. If they win and the Ravens lose, which is likely to happen, then they get the 5 seed. I think the Broncos will play relatively okay, but the Chargers will end up winning. I'll say 2014 Chargers. Next, we have, I was saying we have a 9-6-1 Giants taking on the 13-3 Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants clinching a playoff spot. They have pretty much clinched the 6th seed at this point. They cannot get the 5 seed because the Cowboys being twice, and the Cowboys are more than a game ahead of them. And the Eagles coming off the second straight loss of Gardner Minshew. I would not start having hearts here. But if to beat a Giants team who's not very good, Gardner Minshew is plenty capable of winning this game for them. Believe Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback than he played last week. I think he's kind of in the middle of where he played the last 2 weeks. He's a decent quarterback, one of the best backups in the league. Could definitely be a starter for a few teams. I do think he would do enough, and the Eagles will win this game. I'll say 28-17. Don't think the Giants can score points. Other than last week, they really haven't done that much. Next, we have 4-12 Cardinals for 7-4 49ers. Much Terry Buffett, Kyler Murray's out for the season. Cardinals are just a bad football team. 49ers, one of the best teams of the NFL with Brock Purdy and that amazing defense. Even though last week kind of did bad against Jared Stidham, but I think that's just a one-time thing. I think the 49ers would easily win this like 35-10. Won't even be close. Next, we have the 12-4 Cowboys taking on the 7-8-1 Commanders. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off a win against the Tennessee Titans in Thursday Night Football. The one issue is Dak has had a big problem with interceptions this year, so that's not good for them. But they've been winning. Meanwhile, the Commanders coming off a loss of a starter Carson Wentz. Taylor Heinicke is not really a better quarterback. Carson Wentz, I think, is a better quarterback, but throws too many picks. The team is definitely buying Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke is the starter this year because the team just likes him more. So, they really should start him, but it won't matter. Cowboys will easily win this game. I'll say like 28-21. Last is on Sunday Night Football. we have a matchup between two 8-8 teams. The Lions are 8-8 now, and after a blowout win against the Bears, and the Packers are also 8-8 after a blowout win against the Vikings. So this game is in Lambeau Field. Packers, if they win, they're in. If the Lions win, if the Seahawks lose, are in. As a Seahawks fan, which I am if you didn't know it, I like the Seahawks, so Lions will win. With Dan Campbell and the Lion Energy will beat the Packers. Jared Goff will dive the Packers defense, and Jamal Williams will pound it in. So yeah, that's all. I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye!